Hello everybody and welcome back. Today's block is called Diamond Pinwheel, and it is also going to be out of Simply Delightful. It's by Sherry and Chelsea. I'll leave that to the side. I couldn't remember that last week, so I wanted to leave it there so I could remember it this time. So for this, you're going to need fabric A is my corners here, and they are 3.5-inch squares. You need 4 of them. Fabric B, we'll call this one, you're going to need 4 that are 4x4 and 4 that are 6.5 by 3.5. So 4 of all of those. These are 3.5, these are 4, and this is, where is that? 6.5 by 3.5. Then fabric C, you're also going to need 2 that are 4x4 and 8 that are 3.5-inch squares. So we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to turn these into flying geese. I have done 3 of them, but we're going to do one together. So for that, lay that to the side. No, not there. That creates a horrible glare. We're going to just lay this face down on the corner. I don't know why I always do the right side first. I don't think it matters, but you do it however you want. Or if it matters, let me know. I am again using the mini simple folded corners ruler, but you do not have to. This one, I do enjoy it. It lines it up right there perfectly, and I trim this off. Again, you could just lay any ruler there on a 1/4 inch from this corner straight across, and it's going to do the same thing. So we're gonna, and you could also make these half square triangles, but I'm making more blocks out of this, and I might be able to use it for one of those. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to just throw a pin in this right here, because while we're going to the sewing machine, we're going to take this one over also. This is going to be half square triangles. So we're just going to fold this over, even it up. Now I do want mine to all go the same way. So I'm going to flip this, and I want my line to go this way. So when I unfold it, they're going to be going out like those. You don't have to do that, but I'm gonna, oh, here it is, my ruler. We're going to lay this corner to corner. This is an Omni Grid. It's a 1/2-inch ruler, and you just lay that in the middle there, and it gives you a 1/4 inch on either side. I'm just going to bend it. It's awkward for you guys to watch. I apologize. So I'm also going to just stick a pin in here. Well, you got to get both layers, and one on this side. And now we're going to go sew that, and then we'll sew one of these, and then we'll come over and cut the other one. So let's head over there to the sewing machine, and we're going to just start right there at our point. Nice and steady. Now you're just going to sew down on either line. And I do sew just a hair on. Ooh, so sorry about that. Just a hair onto the inside, towards the, I don't know, the middle part. Because I'd rather have too much to trim off than not enough. So now we're going to cut that off and go back over and do the other half of our flying geese block. Let's get this. We're going to set our stitches there and iron that open, and see how perfect it comes out. I love it. So then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. I do switch it around there so I can have it at a not so awkward angle. You could also draw a line right there and sew a 1/4 inch on either side, because it would let you sew that one, and that would be a half square triangle when you're done. But again, I think I might be able to use it for something else. So we'll lay that to the side. I am going to put a pin in this, just because I guess it's what we're doing today. Let's go back over. It slid a little, so I'm just going to line it back up. Sew down this other side now. Let's get them both off of here and head back over. Let's iron this open. Now you could take any one of these blocks and just make a quilt out of all of them. Any one, just one quilt out of one block, or a quilt out of just one of the blocks. But I like to try a lot of different blocks. So I like to, I don't know, maybe I'm not putting enough pressure on it now. I really just do one block. If I make a second block of something, it's really because I needed to practice on one, or I really liked it. Which I do like the card trick block. I have made a couple of those. But mostly I make sampler quilts, because then I can try all the different blocks. So now our flying geese are ready to go. But we have to make these the same size as these, so we have to trim these down to 3.5 inches. So we're going to take our square here, and we're going to line this diagonal line up as close to this edge as possible, while making sure you're trimming some off. I like to trim it off. I like to make it straight, but I want to make sure there's still overlap down here around the 3.5. So then we're just going to trim that off. We'll spin it around, and now we'll line up the diagonal again, but we're also going to line up the 3.5 lines on both these sides, the left side and the bottom. And then we have a perfect 3.5 inch block, half square triangle. Now we're going to do the same thing again. Line up the diagonal. You want to make sure, I like to make sure I'm trimming stuff off. I guess if you could get it exactly right, you wouldn't have to. Spin it around. Line it up, the diagonal, and both your 3.5 inch lines. Right. Now we've got all our elements to our block. Let's lay it out. So we know these are our corners. And then we know these go in the middle, and these are going to form a square, a diamond, however you want to say it, look at it. So these do go differently, which if I could have, like the picture, so when you do this program, it automatically makes them all go the same way. It doesn't really bother me, so I just did it however, just so you know. So now we're going to lay out our pinwheel part, the middle there. We're just going to follow it around, just like it shows. So it'll look just like that. So now we're going to sew the middle pieces together first. Well, actually, that's a lie. We're going to sew down as much as we can. So I'm going to fold this over. And we're going to pin it on the side we're going to sew. And then we're going to fold this over. And I am lining up these seams. And we're going to pin it also on the side we're going to sew. But we're also, since we're going over anyway, we're going to fold this over. And we're going to start with it. And we're going to do the bottom one also down here. Because if we're going over, we might as well do it all, right? We're going to pin it. Now let's head over and we'll start sewing. Do our pinwheel pieces. I'm just repinning this so I can hold my seam together, but I wanted the pin in the side I knew I was going to sew. And then our bottom piece here with our pinwheel, or our flying geese block. I'm just going to let that one rest there, and I'm going to cut off the other pieces. We're going to cut all those apart. So I guess I wasn't paying attention. Maybe if I make another one, I would make the stripes all go the same way. But that stuff really doesn't bother me. So, I don't know. We're going to iron these two the same way. Same direction. So both to this blue part. So they're going to be like mirror images. Now we're going to lay this back in here. How it went. How did it go? Just like that, which means this one goes like that, and it still forms a pinwheel, which actually I do like because these go the same way and these go the same way, so they're all kind of different. All right, so now we're just going to fold this over and we're going to pin it right here in the middle. And I'm going to throw one on the end because I like to pin the end, because if I don't pin the end, it kind of goes wonky on me. And then I'm like, what have I done with my life? So we're going to, let's flatten that one. We're going to lay that to the side. I am going to just go ahead and grab this one. And we're going to pin it because that's how we're going to get our block off of, our pinwheel off of the machine. Let's go over. Ooh, whoops, I bumped that. Okay. So I slowed down there, I bent a little, but I want to try to go right over where my stitches cross. And that usually lines me up to have a perfect pointed middle of that. So now we're just going to run this one through. We're going to leave that one there and cut the first two off. So just going to iron this one open. It's our bottom one. Lay it down there. We will iron this open. I didn't, but it's okay. It's just fun. Now we are going to lay that to the side so we can see better. Or on the floor, that's good too. We're gonna fold this over. I'm actually gonna do it this way because I like that better. That will line up on that seam. This one, they're both going the same way, so it's a little awkward, but I'm gonna do my best. And that's all we need there. Then we're gonna go ahead and do, oh, this was our top one. No, this was our bottom one. We're just gonna go ahead and sew this one too. We're gonna do all the pieces we can. When we go over, throw a pin in it. Let's head on over. We're gonna do this one first. Bottom piece that goes together here. We're just cutting the first two off. We'll iron this open. Iron this one open. Now we do just need to attach this piece to this side. Yeah. We're going to try to line up these seams. One's a little harder than the other because it does not go to opposite ways. But it's okay. It should go down through just fine. Now we're going to take them all back over. Iron our middle open. Okay, so I do have to redo some ironing. No big deal. We're going to iron these to the middle piece because I ironed these to the outside. This one was never ironed, so good job there. Sort of. And then this one, let's lay it out. There's that. Now we're just going to fold this down. And I'm going to pin right here. I'm actually going to fold it over and pin from this side because I want to try to. No, I'm not. I'm just going to do it like this and go for the best. I'm going to pin at the seams. And at the end. And I'm going to throw one, not at the beginning, I'm going to put one in the middle so it holds it steady. And I'm going to lay that there and I'm just going to fold this up and we're going to spin it around and do the same thing again. We're going to pin at the seams, the end in the middle. I'm not sure what that's there for. And one right there. And I'll just hold it at the beginning. So let's go back over. and get it going. Do the other side and then we're done. I know it looked quick because I had most of it done, but honestly it does go together pretty quick if you know, get going good enough. Exciting times, it's done. Let's grab this bigger one. So that one came out pretty good. This one not so much. Nothing you're gonna notice. And if somebody points it out to you, they're not really your friend. Same thing, that one's pretty good, but this one's not. So there it is. It is called Diamond Pinwheel. And I do like it. It does kind of look like Card Trick, which, like I said, I really like the Card Trick block. But there it is. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I hope you make the block and love it. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day.